Howdy, everybody. What's going on? Welcome back to Earth's Mightiest Idiots, where we are nerds, we are idiots, we are nerds who are idiots, and we are a YouTube television show. What is going on?
Happy D23, and we are also a clan of two.
Yes, we are recording this on Saturday, September 10th, so we are recording this fresh after Marvel and Star Wars and all the news came out at D23. Any news that happens between now and when the episode drops, we'll cover next time. But today we're going to talk about D23 because there's a ton of stuff that came out, stuff that should excite you, stuff that hopefully we'll learn more about as the months go on. We're also going to talk She-Hulk episode 4, which was fun. They're all just kind of fun. And then we're going to battle, and hopefully the battle does not put an old man in a chair against a literal cosmic god.
It's karma. It was karma. I
had
that coming.
Yeah, so we'd like a better matchup this time, or one that leans in my favor, just to make me happy. But we'll figure that out. So first off, D23. Again, if you guys don't know, D23 is where Disney usually saves its big punches. San Diego Comic-Con has a ton of stuff, but D23, they can show out for their investors and their stockholders, which I guess is the same thing. This is where they pull out the big guns. And so we learned a lot. We're going to start with some Star Wars stuff because there was more Marvel, which should not shock anybody. So let's talk Star Wars. We're going to get to the timeline. Okay, here we go. They also talked Indiana Jones 5, which I don't think anybody gives a crap about.
I love Indiana Jones, but I do not acknowledge anything after The Last Crusade.
Yes. So Star Wars. Wow, they a lot more Star Wars than I thought. Oh, my Lanta. Okay, here we go. Shout out IGN on Twitter, and we know you're watching at IGN on Twitter. They are providing me the timeline for which I will now speak. Lucasfilm went first on Saturday, and some stuff. Andor, the new Star Wars show following Cassian Andor, will have a 3-episode premiere on September 21st. I don't think we know how long the episodes are, but that could potentially be like 2.5 hours of Andor.
Yeah, that's pretty much that's like a full motion length film. Although that kind of leaked out before D23. I feel like we knew that a few weeks before this.
Yeah, this is where they're going to confirm a lot of stuff. So some of the stuff we're going to say we've heard already, but now it's in fine print.
But I'm interested in seeing Andor. It's not the show I would have wished me to have, but I'm in. We'll see how it goes.
I think Andor is going to be a cool show. I have wanted to see more of him since we first learnt of him. And I think we have seen and learned, and I think Lucasfilm and Disney has learned, and Mickey Mouse has learned, that you don't need lightsabers in Star Wars to be a cool universe show.
Yeah, you can have, as long as you have the ambiance of Star Wars, you don't need Jedi, Sith, or lightsabers.
Correct. And I think not A New Hope, I'm dumb. Rogue One, I don't know why I said A New Hope. Rogue One, I think is criminally underrated.
I think Rogue One is one of the best Star Wars movies.
I think it's phenomenal.
It's an amazing movie, and it really really adds more. First of all, A New Hope is just classic original trilogy, great movie, start off point, but it really benefits from Rogue One's existence because now you have more skin in the game. You know what went into getting that information, and it seamlessly runs right into it. And you also know why Darth Vader was so pissed when they lied right to his face. 5 minutes ago, they were, hauling ass out of there. So,
yes. And one of my best friends, he shall remain nameless, hates Rogue One. And he hated it going into it because he's like, I know how this is going to end. Yeah. I was like, well, we all did, but the journey to get there was fantastic. Anytime you have a
prequel, you kind of have that sense. I think Rogue One actually added a lot more lore to Star Wars than it gets credit for. Mm-hmm. You have the Guardians of the Wills, like Chirrut Imwe, I thought was great. He was
I am one with the Force is with me.
exactly, and I thought that was great because it shows the diversity of how you can use the Force, whether you use it passively or all sorts of different ways.
Or religiously. That was true, like in a religious or belief driven way, spiritual way.
Yeah, no, that was like fundamentalist,
Mm-hmm.
Force belief. But I thought the whole thing was great. It had like the feel of a war movie, which is fantastic. You saw more diversity in the what the Death Star could do. It doesn't have to destroy an entire planet; it can destroy a massive section, and it solves the MacGuffin of why would you ever build the Death Star to be that vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it succeeds on everything.
I agree, and I just realized before we carry on with our Star Wars discussion, we forgot about Nerd Shirt.
Oh, correct. Yes.
Would you like to show the people what we're rocking today?
Well, something crept up onto me while I was sleeping last night.
Oh.
I woke up.
Oh no.
With this, I think.
Oh no. Are you Eddie Brock or are you Flash Thompson? Are you what are we thinking?
I'm rich.
Okay.
But I do hear this strange little voice in my head that just keeps talking to me.
Is he telling you to eat brains like Tom Hardy or?
Well, right now, maybe it's my stomach because I want to eat Taco Bell. So
yes.
I might be doing a late night. Oh, can I say that? There'll be a sponsor in the future, I'm sure. Yeah, I might do a late night run for some Bel Grande.
Very nice. We're recording very late for me anyway. So yes, and I am wearing shameless self-promotion, KDJ TV, twitch.tv/KDJ TV. Come stop by. We play baseball and Power Rangers helmets. Buy the merch. We have many colors, many different designs. And it has the Power Rangers.
It does. There's nothing wrong with shameless self-promotion.
Shameless self-promotion. If you don't like pink, I got black, I got green, I got white. We got a whole bunch of stuff. You can get stickers of my podcast, the podcast, which is a fun name.
Very nice.
And yeah, it's all there. Okay, we're back now to Star Wars. Sorry, brief tangent there. So the next thing they announced, as in Mickey Mouse, the Bad Batch season 2 will premiere January 4th, 2023. And I will admit
that got delayed a bit. It was supposed to be a little sooner, but
I am not as up to speed on my Star Wars animated stories as I should be. I have not watched Bad Batch season 1.
It's very good.
Nothing wrong with it. I'm sure it's great. I will watch it eventually. I still need to watch like the rest of Rebels and I'm behind. I am behind.
That's all right. I mean, is it crucial watching? No, but Bad Batch was a great show, and it does. My favorite thing about it is you can clearly see the transition from clone troopers then being phased out to make way for stormtroopers.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of stuff is it's very well done, and again, it shows another perspective of Order 66 in the beginning. There's a lot of like some filler episodes and some
animated series
side missions and things like that. Get this item, get this, come back. But I mean, whatever. I mean, it's fine. It's a good show. I enjoyed it, and very impressed with the animation. It's you watch a couple episodes, you kind of forget. It's like yeah, they clearly don't look realistic, but after you see a couple episodes, you just kind of. It just feels like any other Star Wars. It's good.
Next, that Dave Filoni went on the stage. One of our kings, by the way. It's Kevin Feige. Dave Filoni might be right there. Wearing a big old cowboy hat, which was cool. And he announced Star Wars Tales of the Jedi. And so this is one of the shows I didn't know was coming. It's not a new announcement. Apparently people all knew about it. I must have just missed the news because there's so much somewhere. Yeah. But Ahsoka and young Dooku are teaming up, or at least like running in parallel lines to get to the end of the story. So that's another animated show coming soon.
We'll see how that one goes. I'll give it a fair shake.
I don't understand why we need and not that we can't get enough Ahsoka. She's a great character. We're getting the live action one. Do we need another animated series focused on her? I don't know.
No, especially if you see season 7 of Clone Wars, which is amazing. Yeah, I would say
I did watch that.
Yeah, amazing, and it runs right into Revenge of the Sith. And you get Ahsoka in Rebels, and she's really good in that too. I don't particularly feel, I'm not knocking it. I don't feel committed or obligated to watch it. I probably will at some point, but it's not going to be my, I'm not going to be watching debut airing probably, but
yeah. Next up, Star Wars Skeleton Crew is a new story, live action, set in the New Republic, and big name actor Jude Law is in it. So this is like a real show.
Well, yeah, it's funny because he's MCU and Star Wars. He's Captain Marvel and now Skeleton Crew. So
he is a loyal disciple of Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, Jude Law's a good actor too. I like a lot
Very
of
good.
things he's done.
He's also in the he's young Dumbledore.
Yep.
In Fantastic Beasts. He's
that's
lots of things.
A horrible
it's a tough series. It's a tough series.
Horrible series.
Yes.
But if you want to see a really good Jude Law movie, it's a little old, but it's great. Enemy at the Gates. It's a great movie.
Wasn't he also not American Sniper? What's the one where he plays a sniper in the war? Is it the one you're talking about?
Enemy at the Gates.
Yeah. It is Enemy at the Gates. Yeah, that's the one. That's a good movie.
Yeah.
I watched that in one of my high school classes, actually.
Yeah, it was very good.
Next, we have... Nope, we know that one already. The Mandalorian, Mando, Season 3. The trailer I have not watched yet. Apparently, it's pretty epic. November 30th. Oh, no. That's they're mixing the timeline up here. Yeah, it's coming in 2023. It's coming in 2023.
Yeah, I mean, the trailer's pretty dope. I have seen it a couple times since it aired earlier.
The one quote I keep seeing is "You are not a Mandalorian any longer anymore" or something like that.
Yeah, because he took the helmet off. So I think it's going to be interesting to see if Din Djarin, although initially searches for redemption for taking the helmet off, I think in the process is going to discover that being a Mandalorian isn't, might not just be following that creed and that sect that he belongs to. There's lots of other Mandalorians that really don't care whether their helmets are on or off or whatever. So I think, he's going to come into some conflict with how he was raised versus what he's seeing now, that his eyes are a little more open to the rest of the universe. And we'll see what kind of conflict we have with Bo-Katan and the Darksaber and leadership over Mandalore.
Which I'm excited about. Which is maybe where the impetus for that "you are no longer a Mandalorian" quote maybe comes from. Yeah. He cannot. How can you rule over Mandalore if you're not a Mandalorian?
Exactly, but they actually make up that group makes up a minority. Most of the Mandalorians, as at least the way it seems now when you see them, are I would say actually the majority of the Mandalorians don't really follow that creed. So
I am hoping that Mando Season 3 it stops. First of all, I never want to see Book of Boba Fett again.
It wasn't my favorite, but it
was Mando Season 2.5. And so Correct. What I'm getting at here is that I hope Book of Boba Fett goes away. Those characters still exist in Mando, but now the story is Mando. Mando and his journeys and who he knows and who he meets. I don't need to see Book of Boba Fett Season 2. Just put him in a Mando.
Yeah, well, I think Boba Fett, I didn't, it's funny, the things I enjoyed most about the Boba Fett show are probably the things that the majority of people enjoyed the least. In the earlier episodes of the flashbacks to his time with the Tusken Raiders.
Those were cool. I like those.
Yeah, I like that because it we didn't know a lot about the Tusken Raiders other than, but now you see they're people, they have beliefs, and they're more, there's just more substance to them than before, which I think is cool. And you learn a little bit about Tatooine when it had water on it, and you see what brings Boba Fett to the point where he's at now, which I think is great. The other stuff, whatever. I mean, I would like to see Boba Fett. You have this character growth and progression, and that's great. But at the end of the day, Boba Fett works best when he's acting like Boba Fett. So
yeah,
and this isn't him. They, when they brought him back on the Mandalorian in Season 2, where he was more violent and more like, more of that. We needed more of that in his own show, and we didn't get as much of him as we got a bunch of, other stuff. So,
Yeah.
It's not my least favorite show. I did find it very entertaining. I did enjoy it. There were some decisions made in the show I didn't quite understand the reason behind them, but I did like there's a thing online that says Lando is the strongest Star Wars character in the universe because because when at some point when they're going back to look for his armor, they're in the Slave One. The Sarlacc is pulling the ship into the hull, but yet Lando, having a tentacle wrapped around his leg, was able to pull himself out.
That's a very fair point.
So he must be the strongest character in the Star Wars universe for that.
Yes. I'm glad with Boba Fett backstory out of the way, let's just fold him in as a recurring character. We don't need to see any more of this stuff.
I would be fine with that.
Fold him in. I'm done with Book of Boba Fett. Next up on the timeline, Harrison Ford gets a standing ovation for Indiana Jones 5. If you ever wanted to see a 97-year-old man run from CGI boulders, this is the movie for you.
Yeah.
I won't watch it. Okay, here we go. The Marvel bit. Are we done with the Star Wars? Do you have any more Star Wars comments to make?
No, I think I'm good.
We are one with the Force. The Force is with us.
Correct.
The first thing, this is how Marvel knows how to do some stuff. Marvel opened their D23 EXPO presentation with a real-life performance of Rogers the Musical from Hawkeye.
Yeah, that I would like that to actually.
I would go to see it.
I would go to see Rogers
for the comedy. It's probably the story would be ridiculous, but I would go to see it.
Oh, that's all right. The more ridiculous, the better.
Yes. So they opened with that, which is just hysterical to me. And then our Lord and Savior, Kevin Feige, the GOAT, if you will, came on the stage. Oh, also, really quick, because the timeline is out of order. Babu Frick is in Mandalorian Season 3. So that's
yes,
cool. The little fellow. Okay, so...
apparently that's a big deal. I didn't really think he was that impactful. I guess he's a fan favorite, I guess.
He's a little guy. I don't know.
He's a little guy. He's cute. He's, lots of merch. So.
Star Wars needs puppets.
Yep.
So Marvel opened after the musical with some new Black Panther Wakanda Forever information. That comes out in November. That's right around the corner. And we know this much, very little about
I think that's actually a good thing.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
I am partially worried that whoever the new Black Panther is going to make me upset. I don't know if I'd rather know that ahead of time or during the movie. But
no,
I don't know.
My own take is that it's going to be Shuri who's the new Black Panther because she took the mantle in the comic book also.
I could see it, but I think
I would also
M'Baku's
take
M'Baku.
Yeah,
that's my choice if it's not Shuri. M'Baku would be cool. Shuri would be cool. Who knows? Porque no los dos, as they say. Why not both? There could be two of them, which is different, but why not?
I'm more interested in seeing Namor and seeing how.
I'm very interested to see how they re-envision what Atlantis is, because it's not Atlantis. It's based off of Aztec culture, but it's based off like very ancient
something South American.
Yes. Could be super cool. All the costumes. I mean, Black Panther, the first movie, the costumes were just top notch. These look incredible.
He still has his little green shorts and the wings.
He does have his little green shorts. The Black Panther footage began with Angela Bassett's Queen Ramonda in a hearing telling the other countries that Black Panther is gone. Yeah. We're not given the reason. Obviously, the reason will be given. Mm-hmm. We got new information about Riri Williams, who will be Ironheart in the movie. There was one still image they showed from the trailer that shows her hammering away on her suit.
Yeah.
So kind of like a cool throwback to Tony Stark in the cave.
Yeah.
What else we got here? I hate the timeline's out of order, but
it
shows that
Shackman was confirmed as director for Fantastic Four.
Matt Shackman confirmed as director for
confirmation because most people kind of knew that ahead.
Yes, but Kevin Feige then said we will have more Fantastic Four information at the next D23.
Fantastic.
That's a long ways away, but that's fine. We learned that.
the roster for the Thunderbolts.
Roster for the Thunderbolts. Trying to go in order here. So before we get to the Thunderbolts, Ironheart was seen in action for the first time at D23. They showed, whether it's from her own series or whether it's from Black Panther, they showed her in the suit in action. This is not on the internet at time of recording, but that would be super cool to see. I'm anxious if, like, is it just like Jarvis AI for Tony Stark? Do we see her with like the face and CGI? Like, I'm curious how we do this.
I guess we'll have to find out.
I'm also anxious to see the costume. The Man-Thing is coming to the MCU. I don't know if you saw that. They're doing the Werewolf by Night in October.
I'm a big fan of Werewolf by Night.
I don't know anything about it.
I just, in Werewolf by Night, I think, I could be wrong, but I believe Moon Knight first appeared in Werewolf by Night in one of those titles. I think that's the first time Moon Knight appeared was an actual a Werewolf by Night book. But if you saw the trailer, did you see the trailer for Werewolf by Night?
No, I have not watched any of the trailers today. That's on my list for later.
It's awesome. I'm a big fan of the classic Universal like monster movies. It's actually filmed like an old black and white monster movie
with a MCU spin-off.
With an MCU.
Wait, it's in the MCU or it's just a Disney/Marvel property? Like, this is going to be canon MCU?
I believe so.
Interesting.
Okay. I think it will be kind of worked in, kind of like, when we were watching WandaVision, how it explained the look of it. It looked like a show because it was a show.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be some kind of reason behind it because, like I said, Moon Knight and Werewolf by Night have history. That's, so I'm sure they'll figure it out. Kevin Feige, he knows what he's doing.
He's our Lord. As I'm staring at a photo of Kevin Feige with Don Cheadle. He will appear in both Secret Invasion, which got a new trailer, and Armor Wars.
Armor Wars, yeah.
Armor Wars both got a new logo and some new information. It is going to be a direct follow-up to Secret Invasion. Just looking at titles and what I know about both, I don't get how that works, but I'm very anxious to see how that works. Like,
the Secret Invasion trailer was also great. I'm
going to watch that, but like, in my head, I know what Secret Invasion is about.
Yep.
I hear Secret Invasion, and then my follow-up question is not, how will Ironheart and War Machine solve the problem? Because that's kind of like they are the direct follow from Secret Invasion. So that's very interesting. Anxious to see how that works. Don't quite know how yet.
Well, the world's looking for Iron Man. Lost its Iron Man, so the world's looking for the next Iron Man.
Yes. There was some Loki season 2 news. There was just some casting stuff, nothing major.
I need more Sylvie. I need more He Who Remains.
Yes, and there is a new trailer that is not public. Fantastic Four, like we said, no update. Next D23, we will get more other than confirming Matt Shackman. We got some Echo stuff. Not a show I was really looking forward to, but it looks like it's going to have a lot of Kingpin. Could have some more
and
Matt
Daredevil,
Murdock.
I'm sure will pop up in that.
Matt Murdock's getting an 18-episode season, and he's going to be in Echo, and he's going to be in She-Hulk. So I'm here for all of it.
The thing with Echo that this is another character that I didn't need, but they're doing it, so be it. But very similar to Taskmaster in a lot of ways. So they have to be, they'll have to do a decent job differentiating her from this version of Taskmaster they've established in Black Widow. So
I'm open to the Echo story because I think it was a really cool character to introduce. Like, I've never seen a character unable to portray what she's feeling through words.
Yeah.
Super cool. And I think I'll watch anything with Vince D'Onofrio. That man
he's great.
Act his butt
man.
off. So I'm here for it. I'm 100% here for it. On the heels of that, Daredevil Born Again, we got a new logo. It's got the traditional double intertwined D. I heard a theory that maybe he was born again because he was blipped. So he quite literally was born again. Kind of interesting way to talk about that. Or the other way is that he is a born again Christian now. I'm just kidding. That wouldn't be it. But maybe.
Probably not, but yeah, hey, why not?
And that would probably born again is either he was blipped and he came back, or it's something where like he has reconsidered his ways, and that's how we get
spiritual, maybe
That's how we get the
Tidy
toned
armor.
down Daredevil, where he's a little not comedic, but less intense than he was on Netflix.
Yeah.
Which again, as we've discussed, please don't do him dirty. He still needs to have a little grit to him. Yeah. This one was really cool. So this was one of the bigger dangling loose threads from the Incredible Hulk way back in 2008.
Oh yeah,
I think it was.
Leader's coming back
At the very end, or close to the very end. Tim Blake Nelson, aka Samuel Stearns, he is seen on the floor with his head beginning to grow. The Leader is coming to Captain America: New World Order, which is super cool. I think we also learned that in Captain America: New World Order, Anthony Mackie's sidekick will become Falcon. I forgot his
I forgot his name, but yeah, he was the replacement Falcon.
Yes, so he will officially take on Falcon, which is super cool. I'm very and the man who played the real first Captain America will also be in the movie. Isaiah Bradley.
Isaiah Bradley.
I'm interested to see what happens. I think bringing back the Leader is a cool way to include the Incredible Hulk as real. I think they're doing a good job with that because She-Hulk has Abomination back, and maybe we're finally getting that World War Hulk like we talked about. It might be time to finally respect the Hulk.
I actually like that movie. Like it gets crapped on a lot, but I actually like the Ed Norton Hulk.
The last thing we need is for Ed Norton to just make a cameo somewhere.
Yeah.
Just to throw some fun at it.
That would be pretty cool. I mean, who knows?
I think he hates Marvel, though.
We have some. I had heard that he was difficult to work with, and that he was demanding. But listen, I don't know the guy. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. But,
he's been in some good stuff.
Hey, listen, Topher Grace was notoriously difficult to work with.
Oh, he was in some terrible stuff.
No, I said Topher Grace. I'm sorry. Tobey Maguire.
He was in some nostalgic
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah, and apparently the crew on Spider-Man did not like him that much, and there was a whole Google it, lots of interesting stuff. But hey, they brought him back, man. So
several times.
Give Norton a shot.
Yes, and as we said, Thunderbolts, the movie is happening. The cast or the lineup officially revealed. It looks like Yelena Belova is the leader. When we look at the picture of the cast, she is dead set in the middle. Yeah. Flanking her, we have the Red Guardian, who I never thought I'd see again in this capacity.
I'm excited to have him back. I thought he got punked in the movie.
I like David Harbour, so I'm in for it. And I didn't expect to see Bucky Barnes here because I don't associate him with this like evil team.
I was a little confused because you have 3 super soldiers.
I think it's more of like a band of misfits than a team of supervillains like it used to be.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have 3 mock Captain Americas there.
Yes, you have what U.S. agent, Bucky,
Winter Soldier, Bucky, and Red Guardian.
Yeah, but we also have Ghost. Interesting. We don't care about the Taskmaster.
Yeah, I want to hear more explanation too about because the Red Guardian says he fought Captain America in a time when he couldn't have chronologically. But that's also assuming that was Steve Rogers, when it could have been maybe it was Steve Rogers going back to return the stones. Maybe that's when they fought. Maybe he fought Isaiah Bradley. Maybe he fought, because he's obviously not lying because he's very passionate about the story. He's very proud of it. So I want to hear more about that. So that's great. I would actually love for them to do a Captain America movie with him returning the stones. I think that would be pretty interesting.
I don't think Chris Evans wants to do it, but I mean, I'll watch anything. So.
I would want to see it.
Yeah.
I would like to see Red Skull's face when he goes back to Vormir with the to return the stone. I think that would be an interesting.
You again, yeah. Yeah. We also have Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp. Didn't care for her as a villain.
Nah.
Maybe we get more.
She was barely a villain anyway. I mean, she was
an annoyance, really.
Blah.
And then Taskmaster's in it. And we're getting a lot of Black Widow in the Thunderbolts, by the way. A lot of vibes from that. Taskmaster, was, as we've discussed probably at length, not handled well. But this is maybe a time for redemption. Hopefully.
I'm gonna give him a shot. Who knows? Maybe it's a different person under the costume now. You know?
Yes, maybe. And Elaine Bennis from Seinfeld is the leader of the group.
True.
Valentina
Contessa
something.
Too
many names, but yeah, we're getting to the point of the MCU where I'm forgetting names of people because there's so many.
It's actually a very impressive thing if you think about it, because
it's extraordinarily
when I
impressive.
was younger, you didn't have a lot of comic book movies. Now
they made us care about the Guardians of the Galaxy, which is the point we always go back to.
No, it's crazy. I mean, to create this kind of cinematic universe spanning more than 20 films and shows, and it's unprecedented. It's incredible. You know, it's a good time to be a nerd.
Great time. I believe the last thing we learned from Marvel is we got a first trailer for the Marvels that is not available to the world yet. It was at the Expo. I didn't think Captain Marvel was a brilliant movie. I thought it was fine. I thought at times it was a little boring.
I thought it was very average.
I think they don't know how to handle Carol Danvers as a character, because clearly they've made her so powerful that she has to take very large chunks of movies off and just go away to the abyss somewhere. Yeah. So hopefully they figured this out.
Kevin Feige should give me a call, because I have figured this out. Especially since we're coming around the corner. X-Men are coming, man. I feel X-Men vibes. Rogue got her super strength and flight and all that from Carol Danvers, from absorbing her power. So if you want to solve that problem,
take some of her power away and put it over
take some of her power away from Rogue.
Yes.
You know, when you introduce the X-Men, and then you don't have to say she's off-world. She was in a coma for quite a long time in the comic books when Rogue took her powers. So, you know, you get to have, maybe that'll be Captain Marvel 3. You know, maybe we'll introduce Rogue from the X-Men and Captain Marvel 3. Who knows?
Oh, we learned one last bit of Marvel information outside of the Marvels. I thought this was interesting. New World Order, Captain America New World Order, is going to introduce a character, I believe Sabra, maybe? It is a mutant, a real legit like X-Men mutant who can resurrect the dead. I don't know where we're going with this, but I'm very open to it.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
There was also Avatar, The Way of Water news, and I don't care about Avatar.
I will say I have...
It looks beautiful, but that's
a special place for Avatar in my heart.
Okay.
I actually really enjoyed the first Avatar movie. I don't know why we're, doing a sequel 20 years later or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, it worked for Maverick. Maverick was an amazing movie. So
I prefer my Avatar to be The Last Airbender. That's my Avatar that I enjoy.
Yeah, that's a terrible live action movie though.
Oh, that I did not see because I heard it was that bad. Okay, so lots of news. We just ran through it real quick. We will have more as more happens. We're going to talk She-Hulk now, because She-Hulk is a TV show and we're watching it. And again, building off last week, I love that this show does not take itself too seriously. Episode 4 was very funny. I enjoyed
episode 4.
I think we're starting to build on some themes that are going to occur where I feel like Wong is going to keep being here. And that's a little strange to have She-Hulk and Wong together, but I feel like he's not going away.
It's a little strange.
It's a little strange.
Pretty good.
But I like this show so much, and I said this before we started recording, because every episode feels like a weekly comic book leading up to quote unquote the end game. I don't mean to use that as the pun.
It's self-contained.
Whereas like every other Marvel property, which is not necessarily a knock on them, sometimes though they can feel a little exhausting because everything is this big, massive story or conflict or this and that. Other than She-Hulk like identity crisis, I don't think there's a big conflict currently in this show. It's just nice and light and fun.
No, the big contribution of She-Hulk, whereas before I wasn't sure where we were going with She-Hulk or what the purpose even was. Now it's clear to me. Now it's Madison King with the Y in a surprising place.
And two ends.
And Wong together watching The Sopranos.
No. Wongers is what she calls him.
Oh, sorry.
But funny.
Watching
very
The
funny.
Sopranos and spoiling everything ahead of time for him.
Yes. They watch The Sopranos and This Is Us together. So that was fun.
So I think that's all I need. She-Hulk's already contributed everything I need from the show. I need more of that. And, essentially Madison King, who's played by, I think, Patty Guggenheim, I think her name is.
Sure.
She's pretty much Snooki. It's like MCU Snooki, but, shout out to Snooki, by the way.
Shout out.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Thank you for watching.
I want to see, I hope this works out for Wong. I hope he finds happiness with her. They seem like a cute couple. And
he needs a companion at Comertage.
Yeah.
So there's 5 episodes of She-Hulk left. And as I said, I still don't know where we're ending up, which might be good. It took a little while for us to find out what Miss Marvel was getting to, but that was a slower paced, really long draw.
You made the point before. That show didn't know what it wanted to really be.
And it ended up being fine, but I didn't get the right tone, I don't think.
I think She-Hulk, the one thing that also stood out to me in this episode was the terrible CGI. Some of the CGI this episode was rough, man.
That's okay.
It was rough.
They don't have MCU movie money. They have MCU TV show.
All good. It's all tongue in cheek anyway, so we'll just let it slide, but a little rough.
I loved a couple things I loved. When her dad just shows up at her door, has all these things because she just got mugged or attempted to get mugged and she beat up the guy.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, I have a shovel. Don't ask why I have the shovel. Just thought that was funny. That was cool.
Well, he's great. I used to watch Perfect Strangers when I was young. He was Cousin Larry.
I don't know what any of that means.
Well, you should check it out.
I also loved whether this is intentional from a story standpoint or intentional from a LOL, we read the comments standpoint. More Mephisto Easter eggs. So I don't know if it's true or if they're just making fun of us at this point.
We're getting closer. We're getting portals to hell with demons crawling out, and that's
devils who hatch from dove eggs.
It doesn't need to make sense.
I'm just saying.
Well, one popped from an egg. The other ones came running out of a portal and were bats, and then became like hamster, bear, rabbit things.
Yes,
with antlers. And
there was another theory I read that, not that it means anything. But when he opened up that portal with the sling ring to send them away, it was to Wonderbar, wherever.
Yeah, because I think I saw the mountain range, and so I think that's where
he went with.
I think they went to Wondergore Mountain.
Yeah, just a fun episode. I don't watch She-Hulk. I've now learned I don't watch She-Hulk to have my mind blown. I'm not looking to see like, oh, what is the crazy reveal or twist going to be? I know there's going to be a cool cameo. I know there's going to be a fun little tease at the end. And there's going to be some fourth wall breaking. And that's plenty for me. It's a nice in-between calm show.
Yes. I do. I'm kind of in the middle with it. I enjoy it. It's entertaining. I'm just not like blown away. Like to me, it's for what it is. It is what it is, and it's lighthearted and all that, and that's great. And I like how the MCU wants to tell their story through different mediums, whether it's horror, whether it's goofy like this or whatever. I mean, I think that's all great that they're doing it in different formats. So I say keep doing that. I'm open to it. But I hope by the last episode that I'm liking it more.
Well, yeah, I was also Miss Marvel's. I hate continuing to compare it to Miss Marvel, but it's the most recent thing I have in my head. Miss Marvel's pacing really picked up the last like three and a half, 4 episodes. Like really, like that's when the story happened. We got action, we got explanation, we reached conflict resolution, we got to all these places. There's 5 episodes left of She-Hulk. They're about 30 to 40 minutes long a pop. It doesn't take long for the storytellers to be like, okay, now we kick the story into gear. It could happen next week. It could happen the week after that. But I'm sure we will get stuff at some point.
Each episode's a day in her life and her dating life and a trial. That might never happen. It might.
I do kind of like, to bring it back to Power Rangers, because that's all I know. There was your villain of the week, or in some cases, villain of the day, because they used to release episodes every day. Mm-hmm. This is just her law case of the day, case of the week. Every week, she's got a new case, a new funny, weird thing to deal with. And I kind of like it.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that. I don't think we need, it's canon, but it doesn't have to be impactful. It could just be what it is.
It could just be in this small little subsection of the MCU that very much exists. It can very much be acknowledged. But like I said last week, I don't know if we need She-Hulk appearing in movies because it would kind of feel out of place.
Yeah.
I guess anything's out of place until you see it and actualize it. But I don't know. I don't know if she exists outside of this.
I guess we'll have to find out.
She was not released she was not revealed in phase 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10. So
I think this is kind of like a testing the water right now. We're sticking our toes in the pool, seeing if it works.
Yeah. Okay.
Going back to the fourth wall breaking, though,
yes.
I think the other thing too is we know we're getting Deadpool at some point.
Would love if somehow they met. That would be fun.
And he's the ultimate fourth wall break.
And what if they fourth wall break, not knowing they fourth wall break, and then during their fourth wall break, they argue about the fourth wall break?
Yeah,
that might be the fifth wall. I don't know.
That's kind of but that's kind of the thing. It's like I feel like the fourth wall breaking is cool. She-Hulk, and she did that in the comic book also. But I also don't want to rob Deadpool of his impact when they bring it.
I could see like if they were to do that, and She-Hulk addresses the audience, and Wade Wilson just looks at her and goes,
or maybe Wade Wilson is one of her clients in an episode. Maybe cool. They bring Deadpool in for a trial.
I can picture Wade looking at her going, "Who are you talking to?" And she goes, "The people."
By the way,
he goes, "No, that's my thing. You don't do my thing. That's my thing."
If it happens, I'm just saying, I just said it. So if the chances of this happening are slim to none. But just remember, if it happens, I just said it just now. Remember that.
Book it on the record. Okay.
On.
It is wheel spin time. She-Hulk. A lot of fun. We'll talk more about episode 5 next time. Quick recap. Galactus kicked the Thinker's tushy last week, but I think we came to a mutual agreement that there would be some level of respect and you would let the Earth live. And I would be your, what's the word? Herald. Thank you. Herald of Galactus. So Aunt May can just live a nice, quiet old lady life.
Yeah, actually, I want to go back to Googling that Aunt May Herald of Galactus.
Yes, I'd love to learn more.
I forgot about that. I have to check into that.
Oh, okay. We will learn more at a later date. Homework assignment. So, are you feeling lucky? Do you want me to spin first? I don't think I've ever spun first.
You haven't spun yet, so you spin.
All right, you still have to tell me which wheel I'm spinning because I know the wheels. So 1 or 2.
1.
All right, ready? Yep. Come one, come all. You can't see it, but at least you can know it's real. We're all about transparency here. List number 1, spinning. I just hope maybe this matchup can at least actually be even. That's all I'm asking for. I have been given a character by the name of Hawkeye.
You got Hawkeye?
I got Hawkeye.
Okay.
Not a great one.
You got Robin Hood. That's pretty much what you got.
Yeah, great. I have a guy who can shoot arrows. And your character, hopefully, is someone similar to Hawkeye, like the Green Arrow. It's Nite Owl. I believe that's from Watchmen.
Yeah, I think so.
He's the guy with the owl ship. He's also just a human being. It's a human being versus a human being.
This is probably the most level fight we can get.
You're a little more techie.
Yeah.
I've got some bows and arrows.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, so Hawkeye versus Nite Owl. 2 birds. Hawks and owls. Caw-caw, everybody.
Caw-caw.
We're doing it.
We'll just wing it and see how it goes.
Oh, we'll do it on the fly. We're not going to do that. We're going to go study. We'll be back in 5 minutes, but for you, it will be in like 3 seconds. Alrighty, folks, we are back. I know you missed us. It was a very long commercial break. It is Hawkeye versus Nite Owl. And 2 things we've established. We're both humans, and you might consider us both boring. But hey, we're gonna make this a fair, interesting, bloody fight. Maybe not bloody. I don't know. Could be. Your research was a bit more tedious, mostly because
There's not a lot.
There's not a lot. Night Owl and the Watchmen don't have much material to work with.
No.
So what would you like
And
to enlighten the
unfortunately,
people?
I was
Tell us.
hoping my research would enlighten me to Night Owl. But unfortunately, I already knew absolutely everything I needed to know already.
Mm.
So
tell the people. Some people might not be familiar with Watchmen. Read the graphic novel, then see the movie. By the way,
he is the titular Watchman.
Yeah.
Watchmen is it's a DC property. It's a little different than the main line stuff. It's very much a period piece, and it's it has lots of different messages, but I'm not going to go off on that. But speaking specifically to Night Owl, who is the titular Watchman, he is essentially a watered down noir Batman. He
very
is
watered down, but yes,
very, very watered down.
Doesn't
he's
wear black.
almost like,
he wears brown.
yes. He's like if your dad dressed up as Batman. This is who Night Owl is. Like Batman, he's in peak physical condition. He is, very techy. He's got gadgets. He knows martial arts. He's, he is in every single way Batman, except missing the cool factor
and the money
factor, and isn't as rough around the edges or traumatized in the same way Batman is.
But is he missing the parents?
That there was a book that I read about how to become a superhero, and one of the sections is have your parents killed.
Be an orphan. Yeah,
good stuff. But so there was two Watchmen. We have Hollis Mason and Daniel Dryberg. Daniel Dryberg is the one, I believe, who's like the main part of the Watchmen movie, and he's also the one who hooks up with Silk Spectre, yada yada yada. So he does have a good looking lady at his side. Does that help in this battle? No, but I would think with my my smart, investigative, inquisitive brain that I would be able to do a little bit of my own research into your Hawkeye and find out what makes him tick, find out what hurts him. Yes, we're both humans, but everyone's got a sensitive spot. So I feel like he would do his research before meeting your guy head to head. He would be looking up everything about him. And considering that, according to my source material, I can dodge bullets easily, I could probably dodge arrows even easier.
Yes, but we both agreed we would nix that part because we're
Correct.
Human v. human, just as I am nixing the very small portion of Clint Barton's life where he became Goliath after he took Pym particles. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to be human versus human.
But when I say dodge bullets easily, I am really saying dodge bullets more easily than you.
Swiftly, yes. I won't have to dodge bullets because you don't use weapons, really.
No, I don't.
You're more of a hand-to-hand combat type of guy.
Hand-to-hand guy.
Clint can do that as well.
I like to use binoculars.
That's not a weapon unless you throw them. If you throw them, they're a weapon.
And the other interesting thing too is, if I'm being totally honest here, is that I'm also limited in what I would use technology-wise because I'm from the 40s. I don't have the same access to things Hawkeye does.
That's a fair point.
But thankfully, he just uses a good old medieval bow and arrow, so it's not.
Have you seen what his bows and arrows can do? They can explode. They can do sticky.
He's got a quiver that's a lazy Susan, and he has arrows that are all sorts of different things.
But he always has to go collect them when he's done. You don't see that part often.
Yeah, no, my guy's the guy that when he's talking tough at a criminal, he calls him a blockhead. You know what I mean? That's I'm a bit dated. So maybe I went through a time, a portal through time, and either in the 40s with me or I'm in current time with you. So, I know Clint Barton also has martial arts as well. He's skilled in martial arts also. So
was once trained by Captain America himself.
Yeah. and I could be wrong, and I might be. I don't think I am. I think he was also trained by Taskmaster at one point as well.
He may have been. It didn't say it in the brief thing I read,
Because
but
Shield
sure
had
he did.
utilized Taskmaster before, so
Yeah.
you can fight too. So we're.
I
both
also though,
players.
so we both can fight. I might give myself a little bit of an edge in fighting because even though you were alive in the 40s, and so was Captain America, I was trained by Captain America.
Yeah.
You don't, and potentially Taskmaster. So as far as like the array of styles in which I can fight, I can adapt. You just kind of, you strike me as like the old timey boxer who stands there like this.
I
just kind of throws punches.
I went to a karate school and got a black belt.
Okay.
And I know karate. I didn't have it's the 40s. I don't even think we had televisions at that point. Probably black and white.
Science. I don't know, technology. But so Clint is known as the man who can turn anything into a weapon.
Yes.
Coins, pencils, staplers, weapons.
The only thing I have going for me is I am really good friends with Dr. Manhattan.
And now he is very blue, very glowy, and has a large appendage. However, I don't think you could just summon him like the genie from Aladdin.
He is kind of a almost omnipotent in a lot of ways, but you can't hang out with him too long because you'll get cancer. That's also
we learned that in the book and movie.
Yeah. So he's I might actually to be honest, I think in my investigative research as Nite Owl, I think he would probably acknowledge that he may be at a bit of a disadvantage in this particular battle, both from a technological standpoint, exposure to various martial arts, and his own limitations on what he will do with his morality.
Yes, but what you do have that I don't is the larger scale tech. However limited some of that tech is because it's the 40s, you have the owl flying machine.
I have the flying owl ship.
Now, technically, I also have something that flies, and I learned this today. It is called the thing I forgot. Please hold. I'm going to find it. The Sky Cycle. It is based off a snowmobile-esque type of thing, and it can fly.
Sounds good.
We'll do Grand Theft Auto in the skies, and I'll chase you around in that thing.
But and you catch up with me in 2 seconds because I'm sure my guy obeys the speed limit.
Yes. I don't know if it's a straight hand-to-hand fight. No weapons.
No weapons.
No bow and arrow. No quiver. No nothing. We're just two guys. It's a bar fight. We're just two guys. We're slugging it out.
Yep.
Apparently, though, Hawkeye is not superhuman strength, but he has been trained to be very strong because there's an anecdote I read here that someone tried to pull his bow back one time and couldn't do it because of how much force is actually required to do so, and he pulls it back like it's.
If you've ever, just for the average viewer, it is not the easiest thing to pull back a compound bow.
Oh, I've used like not real ones, and it's incredibly difficult.
It's very difficult. So when you see, Clint's bling, 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 understand, he's strong.
He's very strong.
He's very strong.
He's also got the cool glove that all archers have that just lets him rip.
You have to have that.
I think while yes, you could dodge things. Let's bring our weapons back now, or my weapons back. You can dodge bullets better than the average fella, because you would use the word fella.
I would use the fella.
I love the word fella. I'm an expert marksman. The second I start realizing, like, oh, these are just grazing him, they're not hitting him flush. That's because you're so deftly dodging the critical blows. I'll just start over adjusting and compensating for where you're going to be.
Well, like my successor, Batman.
Or I aim here. I aim here, and
Well, like my successor, Batman, I am in peak physical performance, much like you. So I won't be an easy target, and maybe I'll take my I guess we'll have to change the name here, owl rangs, and try to get it around your legs and knock you off, and that'll definitely impact your shooting.
There's also a very good chance that we both realize that we are bird-themed heroes, and we decide to just go to the bar and have a good old American Budweiser. And you know why? Because there's an American Eagle on the can.
That is true. Maybe while we're talking about birds, maybe we'll go hang out with the penguin. See what he was up to.
He might be from the 40s. He might be from 2010 with the very
Depends on the comic
ambiguous.
book you're reading. It doesn't matter.
with the very ambiguous time period that Batman exists in. We don't know where he's actually from. So is Batman old? Is he new? Are there cell phones or are there
I feel like
ring phones?
with the kind of characters they both are, neither one of them would kill each other. It would be more of a, props. It would be more of a, a contest of.
Well, the MCU doesn't kill unless you're an alien.
I'm not from the MCU.
Well, I'm just saying my character would not kill because you are not an alien.
True. So yeah, I think that it also depends on which Night Owl we're talking about. There are two, and the other guy
powers are the same or lack thereof of powers.
Yeah, there's not a ton of diversity other than in the name. So yeah, I think at the end of the day we'd put up our dukes, get into some fisticuffs, and yeah, I think that's what would happen. But I have to, honestly, because I feel like Night Owl is a very honest man coming from his time in which he lives and speaks. I think ultimately, although I'm representing Night Owl, I think at the end of the day, after all the blows and haymakers and trips and whatever, I think ultimately Night Owl would be humble enough and respectable enough to shake your hand and probably hand you the victory.
I am also, however, willing to concede the fact that both Night Owl and Hawkeye, as characters in their respective mediums, question the role of superheroes and powered people and people with that quote-unquote power, whether it be superpower or
if
status.
you're DC, you're talking about metahumans. If you're Marvel, you're talking about mutants or
like what is the role of a person who has the ability to stop things without check and balance?
Yeah.
I think that they could both go to a bar and just have a real fundamental philosophical conversation about what they think they should be.
Yeah.
It'd be quite an educational conversation.
Yeah, and they're very much the top of their prime examples of, peak human condition. These are the best humans. They don't have superpowers, but they've gone as far as they can go.
Somehow Hawkeye has survived every adventure they've gone on, and that makes no sense.
He even survived that terrible purple costume he had for a while.
He did.
Big H on his head.
He did. Thank God we haven't seen that in the MCU.
That was like a Wolverine-esque. It was Captain America. It was like a hybrid of like Captain America and Wolverine. It looked really goofy.
Very bad costume. All right, so a good battle, a much better battle than Galactus versus the Thinker. And we've reached the point in our episode where we leave you guys and gals with some words of wisdom. And
It's
this
very
week
important.
I have none.
What do you mean you have none? You're very wise.
I am one with the Force is with me.
That's pretty good.
And when you are one with the Force, you like and subscribe.
There you go.
I did it.
So I think I try to have little nuggets of wisdom. I call them my Mr. Rogers moments. But you should be nice to people on your way up because you'll see them again on your way down. So it would be even nicer to like and subscribe and help our viewership go up.
Go up.
Rather
Yes.
than go down.
Yes. Yes. Very good. All right, everybody. This was fun, as it always is. We will be back in the future with She-Hulk episode 5, more news, more wisdom, and more shirts.
Tune in. This is the way.
This is the way. And the reason we'll have more shirts is because YouTube requires us to wear them.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I got to pick up one of those KDJ TV shirts. I'll happily support.
I'll send you the link, and I'll put the link in the description for other people who'd like
Very good.
t-shirts.
Stay tuned. We might have idiot shirts at some point in the future.
If you're an idiot just like us, you can now proudly display it upon your chest. We can work on that. All right, everybody.
All right, go to sleep, everyone.
Go to sleep. See you next time.
signing off.